Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. I've got a cool unboxing episode for you guys tonight, but we're going to start things off with this little small package here. So I've been using a GoPro Hero 7 for quite some time now, and a couple of months ago, it just completely stopped working in general. So I've been faking all the different camera angles, but I've been really missing those point of view shots. So I finally broke down and I bought the new GoPro that just came out. So let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open. There we go. That's a little bit better. Got my hands going, got all my camera angles again. Makes unboxings easier. The only reason I didn't want to upgrade is because due to a lawsuit, I don't get a live preview. So if some things are out of the frame, I'm sorry. I can't control it anymore. But today we have some unboxing and uncasings. A viewer of the show had a couple of guitars that he needed to sell, and he just asked, hey, can I drive these down to you and you just purchase them? Are you cool with that? And it's like, that's not my preferred way to do things, because, I mean, what if these guitars are stolen? Then I'm out the money and things like that. But it always helps when, like, they have the original box and things like that, too. But inside here is a Blueberry Burst guitar. Well, I think it's technically Blueberry Fade, but this is the model when the SG Modern first came out. This is the one I wanted to review and document. However, I ended up getting the Black Fade one. I think they call it Trans Black or something. But these are such beautiful SGs. They've got their flame maple tops to them. It's got a little bit of purple, a little bit of blue, and then some light angelic blues. However, I finally get one of these modern ones in my hand, so I can complain to you guys in person that they changed the tuners on these after the initial release. Like, if you go back to my full review and demo over here, you'll see that the tuners used to be locking Grovers on these guys. However, they're not anymore. They have these mini Grovers on them now. And I'm betting that comes down for two reasons. A, cost savings. I mean, these things are already, I think, $400 more expensive than they were when they were first introduced. They're like $2,400 now versus the $2,000. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that it might have also just been to stop these things from neck diving. So let's go ahead and give this a try here. The test. There we go. It's no longer a neck divey instrument. I mean, locking Grover tuners, they're definitely a little bit heavier than these. So am I giving Gibson too much credit for a cost savings feature? I don't know, but I can't say this one isn't too neck heavy at all. Like, it wants to slip a little bit, but it's not going to the floor like some SGs can. So other cool features about these guitars, just in case you missed that episode. I mean, true mother of pearl inlays, you got your ebony fretboard. I mean, they're just nice. Oh, and don't forget, you get your fancy coil splitting abilities on these guys too. It looks like this guy has a two-piece back. If you get it in the light just right, one piece is like lighter than the other one. But it looks like this is a 2021 model, and it's got a little bit of a stand hanger rash. I mean, this one's not too bad. It's just a little bit of hazing to the finish. It might even be able to be cleaned off. But I thought this was a pretty cool pickup. It's got the original case here, all the other goodie stuff. So you can check this out on my website if you're interested in it. But before we continue on our unboxing journey today, we have a word from our sponsor today, who I just happened to pick their shirt out of my wardrobe today. Sweetwater. All right, so if you're buying new gear online, or if you live close to the Fort Wayne, Indiana area, Sweetwater is the best place to buy your gear. They take all the photos, you can see what kind of top you got, they tell you the serial number, they tell you the weight. When I'm trying to find a really special looking review and demo piece, I always check out Sweetwater first. But they also have all kinds of gear, from, you know, pianos to basses, even band instruments. They even have a rental program now. And if all that's not good enough, they also do monthly giveaways. You can check that link in the description to go ahead and enter those. Thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring tonight's episode. Now let's get back to some guitars. Do we do another uncasing, boxing? I think I want to do this small one. So this showed up on eBay one night, and it's like, yes, another one for my collection. It wasn't in the condition that I wanted it to be in. However, it's one of those things like, how many of these actually still exist in the box, you know, when you're doing a whole boxed, new old stock collection of stuff. And I specifically asked him to box it so it doesn't get smashed in transit, so I'm very thankful that he took a little bit of additional time here. There it is. Another one for my replacement parts collection. It's a gold TP6 tailpiece. Now, I'll be honest, this is even in worse shape than I thought it was going to be in. This is all punched in, the box is beat up. Looks like it's been aftermarket taped. So no, I'm not opening this for the first time. But it's always hard to find these things that still have the paperwork inside of it. And this one does not have the paperwork. It doesn't look like we have the studs either. So even though the box wasn't in the shape I wanted it to be, I mean, I basically paid what this was worth in itself. The box was just a freebie, because that's a nice vintage TP6 tailpiece. But after putting a little bit of packing paper in there, it displays nicely. I'll definitely keep looking for a better condition example, but you know, now I've got the gold and the chrome. And here's a quick update of the other ones I've got here. Now let's move on to guitar number 2 here. Another modern day Gibson case. Same story as that SG Modern. He just needed to free up some cash, but this is actually a really beautiful Les Paul. Another one that we've already reviewed, so again, I only bought it for resale and he understood that. But check out the nice little top on this one. I mean, it's not a monster top by any means, but it's respectable for one of these. And by one of these, I'm talking it's a 60s Les Paul standard, you know, from the modern era of Gibson. So this particular one dates to 2021, the 68th day of the year. And it's got the same hanger rash stuff going on. Don't worry, he's fixed it since. He learned his lesson on these guys. That he has to put a cloth over top of his stands. But I like the wood grain mixture with the flame on this one. And it seems to be a pretty decent weight. I mean, all these were played. They've got some scratches. They're not mint condition, so keep that in mind if you're interested in purchasing this. I guess to add an interesting story to this, of course, right when it's time to meet up, it starts bucketing rain. So we're just there, you know, making sure everything's working with my multimeter, checking the neck. We're just standing underneath the tailgate of my van, just, you know, as an umbrella. It was an interesting situation, but everything ended up working out fine. But I'd say I was happy with these 2 pickups. But now it's time to actually unpack some things. So this was a guitar that somebody wanted to buy from me. However, I started to have cold feet on selling that example. So I picked this one up when I saw it thinking, hey, I could offer it to them in case they are interested in one of these. Because I had just recently bought one of these and it was like very, very clean condition. But then I ended up finding that it had like a weird yellow staining on the neck. So I thought, okay, maybe that's not the one for me. But I've been trying to piece together a Guitar of the Week, Guitar of the Month-like collection lately, and it dawned on me. This model is the forgotten one. I think it's week number 45, where they technically skipped it, but it was just because of like some contractual reasoning or something like that. It just ended up being released later on as a different model, so it's technically kind of part of Guitar of the Week, so I decided to keep that one. But the model we are talking about here is the Joan Jett Melody Maker. We've seen these on the channel a few different times. I have a full review and demo if you want to check it out. And hey, I do have an update on the Sweetwater one. We'll do that in a couple of days. Might not be the news you guys want to hear, but an update nonetheless. But just in case you missed the episode, Joan Jett, very famous for using a guitar just like this. Hers is a modified mid-60s, you know, around 1965 is the body shape. And that guitar in and of itself has a pretty interesting modification history. And I mean, this is not a one-for-one replica of what she has. It wouldn't surprise me if the custom shop actually did like a one-for-one replica at some point. But they did do a light factory relicking to these guys. So sometimes you see the wear on the neck, sometimes you don't. I mean, there's really no good way to tell, is it actually factory like that or not? However, just by the feel of this one and seeing how little it was played, I'm betting this was definitely from the factory. It's just a little bit more heavy of a relic job than we've seen. I was going to say this one's in better condition than my last, but what is this? Looks like somebody was like setting it up at one point in time and just dinged the finish. Not quite sure what that's about. I mean, it's one of those things, once you see it, that's what your eye gravitates for. Overall, I would say this one's in good shape. And it looks like we've got a little bit of case candy in here. So one of these has got to go. Probably going to be this one just because the other one's got the doofy sticker still on the pick guard. And now the last unboxing. I'm not going to show you guys this guitar because I'm saving it for a very special episode, but I wanted to, you know, film the unboxing. That way, you know, I can show you the unblurred footage of this at a later date. Because it's a very special guitar that it's either going to be consigned or I'm just going to buy it straight away. And that's part of the deal that I get to open it, see which way I want to go with this. Because it's not a cheap guitar by any means. It's really, really expensive. As you can tell by this very, very crazy pack job here. But inside here sleeps a guitar. That is a magnificent beast. And it's special enough to be sent in one of the Gibson reissue chainsaw cases. Which they might not be as good as the original Gen 1/Gen 2, but they're pretty nice, right? Check out this video if you need to learn more about them. Now here we go. Editor, turn the censorship on. You guys aren't allowed to see this yet, but I am. Holy cow. That's a top right there. This is quite a sight. It's a pretty evil looking piece, but I will share this with you guys another day. Alright, troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Sorry for the tease, but I gotta have some cool spooky October guitars. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.